Thank you. Thank you. I want to tell you a couple of stories today. 4 months after I got my son with autism's diagnosis, that he had autism, I gave up my career as a computer analyst, as an educator at the tertiary level. I felt like I couldn't cope. My life was pulled in multiple directions as I tried to figure out parenting him, the charge to kind of fix him, and then just to be a career woman and run my family. I just felt like I couldn't handle it, and I walked away. Now, I help autism moms who want to create high-impact, family-centered businesses do just that. Create income and life in a way that really fits the rhythm of their lives. But I want to tell you how I got there. There are 2 days at 4 o'clock. I want to tell you about 4 o'clock. It was 4 o'clock one morning. I hadn't gone to sleep yet. My son was by this time a teenager. Autism plus puberty is autism with steroids. What that means is that all the stuff we had to deal with, impulse control and tantrums, just up. More OCD, it was crazy. And I just remember that feeling of multiple days on a row, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't slept yet. I was exhausted. And I thought, we've been doing this since he was 2. I don't think I can keep this up. I don't think I can manage. And I know that maybe your life isn't as crazy as mine. You know, autism is a spectrum, but I know you understand that feeling of living life completely at the whim of autism, where you just have to jump and fix and everything has to go. Like when, for example, there's a snow day. Do you know what that means when there's a snow day? It means you don't go to work because school is closed. Your kid with autism has completely lost the schedule he or she's used to, and there's no nanny you can call quickly just to come in. Your boss doesn't understand this. You have a reprimand on your file. And life can get really complicated. And so I didn't think that I could cope with all of the fragmentation. Fast forward to another day, 4 o'clock, when I wanted to help moms like me, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I knew something had to shift for me so that I could be of service. Other people were facing this dilemma. And I'd solved some of the challenges we faced as meeting with the first person to ever hire me as an autism parent coach. I figured he could help me. He's a serial entrepreneur. He knew all kinds of nerdy, techie stuff. We have a background in computer science together. He's a musician, amazing guy. And I said, how do I help people? And we shared our ideas. He said, come over, let's talk. And after about 4 hours together, I just remember that moment, like 5 seconds before I became an entrepreneur, when he said, hey, the domain name is available. Do you want it? And I'm looking at him in shock, like, what? I don't have any money. All my doubts, right? I'd walked away from corporate. I'd walked away from education. I had no background. How do I run a business? He says, it's available. Do you want it? He says, I'll take out my credit card. Boom. melodyofautism.com, my first official business. And I said, oh my goodness, I have to do it now. I have to do something. And I became a business owner. And that was a pivotal moment for me because it created this shift from being fully focused on what was going on in my own life and the chaos I was feeling to how do I help other people in their chaos. And an interesting thing happened. My energy went up. My motivation got up. My passion for life and for service came back. And what happened was that I was able to build income around the crazy of autism. My son still doesn't sleep much at night. But I was able to build a rhythm of work that energized me, that fit my family's life. And I noticed something as I started to do this. I noticed, well, first of all, that if it wasn't for the fact that I had my first business coach, I didn't know he was a business coach at the time. He was just my nerdy friend. But if I didn't have this first business coach in my life, I probably wouldn't have acted. Because there's something about this guy. Sat down for 4 hours, and at the end of the 4 hours, he moved me to action. I had a business plan. I had a website. I had projections. I was an engineer. I knew nothing about numbers. I could build things. And so he made me build the spreadsheet. It was amazing how much we got done. And I realized, you know why he helped me to be able to do that? He believed in me. I didn't believe in me. I had a long list of all of the reasons why this was not possible in my life. I was just a stay-at-home mom now. I'd given up all of the woman at work kind of persona, and so I couldn't do it. But he believed I could. I believed in him, and so somehow I believed in me by believing in him, and we got moving. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without him. So as I started to offer support to families in a similar way, believing in them and telling them that they could, I noticed something else was happening. There's a movement going on. I don't know if you've noticed it. Do you know how many businesses are run by autism families and special needs families? There are so many solutions to the problems that we face that are being solved by people like us. And it's being solved in ways that fit the life that we face, that just anchors in the rhythm of the life that we have. So for example, there is a venture capital company that funds businesses that help build skills in people with autism. There's a car wash in Florida that's only staffed by people with autism. There is a bakery in London, cupcakes. A young woman with autism loves to bake, and her family set up a bakery. There is Big Kyle's Little Truffles, one of my favorite. Kyle is a big guy. He's a big guy. He loves food. His mother set up in the kitchen a truffles business, and they ship all over the US, right from the Bronx. There's a movement going on because we know the problems we face, and we can create solutions for those problems. So I've noticed that these businesses are doing it for 3 reasons. 1, to share the solutions that we've created with other people. Because I know your life. I know you're thinking, yeah, these people are doing it, but not me. But guess what? I know your life. I know every day you problem solve all kinds of stuff inside your home. You find hacks for solutions. You keep saying, I wish somebody would come up with well, you have no time to find it. You don't know where it is. So you create one. And then you know what happens? Your friend, your kid's mom, and your kid's friend's mom calls you up and says, do you know somebody who... And you help them. So you create solutions, you give advice, you share it. I know you're already doing that. And so these families have taken the same thing you're doing, and they just added money to it and a system to it, and they're making income. So they're doing that for that reason. You know the other reason they're doing it? They're doing it to create a place where kids and people with autism can work in an environment that's safe and free from all of the stuff, the icky stuff that you might have faced at work. Yeah, it's free from that because it's a place where we love and accept the kids, and we help them to build the skills, the kids, the adults with autism. It's incredible to step into some of these spaces. And then they do it in a way that just fits the rhythm of life. You know how sometimes you feel pulled? You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. What if your life was just integrated, where everything worked together the way I think it really is supposed to, right? So I know you're already an entrepreneur because entrepreneurs are hackers. We solve problems and we monetize those solutions. I know you already have those skills. So I'm excited about this movement because I think it creates an opportunity to change the landscape of business, to make business more human. I think kids with autism are here to help us be more human. And we have an opportunity to make businesses more human in this way. And so I think about this client I have. Her name is Susan. She came to me. She's a funny parallel to me. Academic, professor, computer engineering, 3 kids like mine, child with autism. But she was just feeling so torn. She's trying to do homework with the kids at night at 8 o'clock after she's taught people all day. And then the school's calling her, and her son with autism is dealing with special stuff. And she said, Faith, I don't know what to do. I need to do something different. And after a few hours, it was only a few hours, maybe 6 or 7 hours together in all. She had a plan. She was energized. And as I watched her kind of just anchor in and become excited again, it was fantastic. And I contrast her with this other person that called me, Mary, who I feel some sadness about because she's brilliant too. And I can see so much brilliance in all the women and families that I talk to because, again, you're a hacker. I know it. She called me and she talked about her dream. And she said, but I can't. I don't think my son he'll stop making progress if I do. And I've watched her for months not get the help I got to move me from not believing to believing. And she's in the same situation. And so I want to invite you to energize your life If you think that if you feel this fragmented, the tug inside of you pulled in multiple directions and you want to feel integrated, if you think that you have a solution that other people could benefit from, if you want to create a different kind of business, I would love to talk with you, because there's an opportunity here just to energize the landscape of business and change the way we do our lives. So I have a few opportunities to talk with me in the upcoming weeks. Send email to faith@melodyofautism.com and we can talk about your place in this movement. Thank you.